Hey everybody, welcome back to another December daily process video. This is my video for days 16 to 19, which is the second half of Hanukkah. So you'll notice that all of these pages still kind of have that blue wintry theme running through them and not so Christmassy. And so I start off by gluing down my pictures as usual, and then I picked this snowflake out from the Snow and Cocoa collection, and I really love the way the light brown looks against the light blue paper. And then I got a new box of paper clips, so I'm just going to add one as an embellishment on that bottom photo. Then I'm just going to add a little bit of journaling on this card. Sometimes you've probably noticed I like to include just a little bit of journaling on the bottom of these Instax photos, and sometimes I like to put embellishments. It's just kind of whatever I'm feeling. And then I'm moving back to the other card where I put the snowflake down. I was just letting it dry. And my plan with this is to stamp out this Dream Come True stamp on top of the snowflake. And I picked this one because I got a KitchenAid mixer, which I've wanted for like half my life at least. So that really is like a dream come true. I'm not sure where else I'm ever going to use this stamp again. But since I was stamping over the two pieces of paper, it didn't totally work. So I had to stamp it again, and then I picked it up and pressed the paper into the stamp just to make sure all those little edges really got through and touched the ink. And then under that, I just want to do a little bit of journaling, so I'm going to draw some lines. I just used this chipboard sheet that I had lying around. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of journaling in there just to talk about how happy I was to get this mixer. And I think I'm going to add a couple staples here, as I've done on most of the Instax photos in this album. I was thinking about adding some other stamps. I did want to add the little one that came in this set, and it said this is a complete, so you could say this is a complete dream come true. And I'm going to use some darker navy ink for that, just to coordinate with the paper above it that has some dark navy trees on it. And if you watch my setup and supplies video, you'll recognize that 3 of these papers are actually from the Kelly Perky Be Merry kit, and they are the size of traveler's notebooks, and I just cut them down into 3x4 cards. Then that little blue sticker I stuck on, it says perfect, and that came from an old Studio Calico kit. And then I'm using number stickers from the Simple Stories snap sheets, and I've used these throughout the album a little bit just because they're bigger than the Kelly Perky number stickers that I usually use, so they're a little bit more of a focus. Especially in this album, it's nice for the numbers to kind of stick out because counting the days is kind of like a big part of December Daily. So I'm kind of messing with the placement of that little circle and then the numbers. I'm not totally happy with it, but I end up sticking the perfect sticker above, which I like a lot better. Then I'm done with the left side of this layout, and I'm just moving on to the right side. I need to add the date stamp on both sides, so I do that. And then on the right side there is that journaling card I'm using that has the perfect little place to stamp the date. I love stuff like that that has the little place where you can stamp the date. And then for the writing on this card, I wanted to add the first blessing of Hanukkah, just so I had that written in the album, and I think it went really well with the picture of my boyfriend lighting the menorah. And I was thinking about adding some embellishments there. I do end up adding the number because I think that's the best place for it on this side of the layout. And I'm pulling out these number stickers from an old Studio Calico kit, and I absolutely love them. I want to use them more in Project Life and just in my albums in general because I think they look so great. They're really clean and simple, but I just like the way they look. And I was thinking about adding this puffy heart sticker, but I didn't like it right there. So then this is the finished layout. I really like how bright and kind of festive it is. And then moving on to the next layout, this is the last 2 nights of Hanukkah. And for the first photo, I add some journaling. My neighbor, who lives in the same house as me but in a different unit, did this really amazing job of decorating the house. Like, our house looks the best on the block, which I really love, and especially because I didn't have to put any effort into it. So I wanted to take a picture of that, and I'm just pasting that down as usual onto the pattern paper. And then I also have a picture of me with a plate of latkes, because I finally made latkes. I think I actually made them on a couple nights, but this night I remembered to actually take a picture of them. And then I knew on this card I have some more snowflakes from the Snow and Cocoa collection. And it really isn't snowing or anything, but I think it looks appropriately festive, so I think this was just a good place to use those snowflakes. And so one of them is paper, and then one of them is acetate, and it's kind of tricky to remove that plastic backing from them, so you'll see me fiddle with that for a while. And I know a lot of people have trouble with acetate pieces because you can see through them if you glue them down. But I basically just added glue everywhere, and if you can see it, it's definitely not that noticeable to me. It doesn't bother me much. So yeah, I just glued it down with my Tombow glue, and I really like how this turned out. It's really simple, and it looks really wintry, and I might not get a chance to use snowflakes again any other time in my project life or in my December daily, because the weather fluctuates a lot here, and a lot of times it gets cold for a little bit and then it just ends up getting really warm again, which is frustrating if you like cold weather like me. And then in the middle of it, I just added one of the numbers from the Kelly Perky December Daily kit from a couple years ago. And I picked a teal, and again, I've used this teal a couple times even when it doesn't really coordinate with anything in my layout, because I still think if you're using like green or blues and yellows, like a kind of blue-green doesn't really clash too much. So I don't mind the fact that it doesn't coordinate with anything. So then I just glued down my Instax photo on the other side and added some journaling to that. And I also, before that, added a puffy heart sticker, and I think that's actually going to end up moving. That puffy heart sticker I've tried to make work like everywhere in the layouts, and I think that's like the 4th place I've moved it, but I'm still not going to keep it there. I'm going to move it to the yellow card later. And then I'm looking through the Snow and Cocoa ephemera pack again. I felt like I've neglected it a little bit in this album. I definitely wanted to use it more, but it is so like wintry and ski and snow themed, and there's so many things that are like directly about snow or that say snow, and it's just not snowing here, so I feel silly using some of them. So then I don't know totally exactly what I want to do with this last 3x4 pattern paper, and that's kind of the thing about using pattern paper, is you really have to make the journaling card yourself and come up with an idea yourself each time. So since I kind of just had the decoration on the left hand side, I decided to do some journaling on this side, and unfortunately, and very frustrating to me, the footage got cut off again. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with my camera, but it seems like it keeps like cutting off the very end of some of my videos. But anyway, here is a look at the final thing. I used the bubble line stamp from the Kelly Perky Hero Arts planner set, I think, and I just did that twice so I would have some extra lines, and then that puffy heart sticker finally found a home up in the right hand corner. I layered it with a little bit of washi tape to tie in the blue, and then I used the Kelly Perky alphabet stamps or alphabet stickers to write the number 19. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back really soon with more December Daily, and if you enjoyed the video, I hope you'll think about subscribing and giving me a thumbs up. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video.